Mic check. Hello, everybody.
Wait, I said hello first.
Yeah, but the mic was off when you said it. Now that I got that fixed on the screen, got some low bit rate today.
Oh.
See what happens. Doesn't mean anything necessarily yet, but it could. Got some low bitties, you know?
They used to call me in high school.
A low bitty? What was it? What was a bitty? Was it supposed to be short for B-I-T-C-H?
I don't know, but it was like not, I don't think it was a bad thing. Like, this little bitty is like a little like,
I guess you could have used it in either way, in either capacity, positive or negative.
but was it bitty with a T, T's or D's?
I don't know. A little ditty, like
Oh.
Jack and Diane. No, this was B, not D.
Bitty like it's something that like Cameron would say.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, Carla Marie.
Hey mom, what's up? All right. Yeah.
Oh boy. Texas Chris said bitty was short for little bitty to mean small and usually cute.
Oh.
Your small headphones right here. Okay, Martha and Jen, I know the song that Carla Marie was singing. I'm just trying to say he was doing a very bad job of it.
He didn't know music in the early 2000s.
10,
Yeah.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
Do you think, Carla Marie, that like to kick off the show, we need, remember with My Day Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag RIP. What? What?
Pour one out. Pour one out for the homie.
Remember we used to have like the crazy intros?
100% I've been saying this for 4 years.
I wonder if I can take one of those. I probably couldn't really
I think
edit
that's
them
illegal.
down. No, edit them down.
Instead of My Day Friday, it's just like the Carla Marie Anthony Show.
We just get someone to dub over it.
That'd be funny.
I mean, we know enough people who work in, what's it called? Audio production.
I think it would actually be funny if it was like bad dub over.
Yeah, but then it would bother. After the first day, it would bother me.
Okay.
You know?
You can ask Brody to make one. A parody.
I don't need a parody. I don't need like a parody song. I don't want it to be like.
I guess we never use. I know Brody makes Serial Killers podcast. I know he's made theirs in the past.
Yeah.
Did he? We never had a parody.
From him, no. The ones that
Ronnie.
we made
Was you
were Jake and Ronnie. Baby Jake was in a lot of them. He was like the side voice.
Yeah.
And Ronnie was the main person that put it all together.
I love that little nugget. Was texting him this morning. Jake.
Baby Jake?
Yeah.
I mean, we could reach out to Ronnie. He still does a bunch of production. He still works with Elvis's team
Yeah.
on the Bob Ross podcast. And I saw he just posted another one of his podcasts, Independent Minded.
Oh my God.
He was actually, I got to give
running
him,
podcast.
well, I gotta give him a lot of credit. Him and TJ, a lot of people give us credit for starting like the Elvis Duran to a larger crowd, the iHeartRadio podcast boom. But really, TJ and Ronnie, I don't know who started first, but they started at least a year before us. I think TJ may have been the first one.
Oh yeah, TJ would just talk to random people, right?
I remember when only Apple had podcasts,
And
he was on it,
Yeah.
and he was just posting his own stuff. He kind of did his own little show,
Love that guy.
probably in the same vein of the show he did between his radio show and his last radio show and this radio show,
We were just talking to TJ the other day.
where he would like interview chickens or whatever he was doing. He did weird stuff. And then Ronnie started his where he would talk to independent artists,
Yeah.
which is why it's called Independent Minded.
I love it.
So maybe we could reach out to Ronnie and we could have a cool
I think
little
I'm going to
intro.
give it a spin first.
You're going to try to make a intro? All right, go for it.
I'm just going to Carl Burnett show, Twitch,
What?
over. I'm going to start yelling things over the intro so it doesn't say My Day Friday.
You're going to ad-lib it like your Future on one of his own songs?
Yes.
For 21 Savage?
Yes.
You need a catchphrase if you're going to be like ad-libbing things, though. You know, like 21 Savage, like 21, 21, like that.
I'll figure it out.
He also says another word that I can't say on the radio or on
Bitch.
No.
Okay.
He yells another word.
Well, maybe it's. We
But-
don't say it.
It's like,
Can you say it anywhere?
I don't like saying the word.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
It's a word I could say. I just don't like saying it. And I don't think
Well, you
anyone's going
can't
to be
type
allowed
it.
to put it in the chat. So,
Can you give me another word for it?
kitty cat.
I knew it.
But he just comes through and goes,
Why would he do that though?
that's just what he does. I don't know. It's
I
hilarious.
think men should be banned from saying that word. It's just weird.
I don't love the word. I guarantee in like middle school or high school, I used it to like,
Tom Jones loves the word.
what's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a great song. It's a great song. And if you
Ooh.
want a good laugh, you should go to Spotify, go to Apple Music, wherever you get your music, and just type in Tom Jones Pussycat.
It's so weird.
It's the funniest and weirdest song ever.
With your pussycat nose. Anyway, congratulations to Jen, who officially has the 25,000 bits badge.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I think Jen has too many badges for the 25-bit badge to come up, though. Right? Because there's the gift one, there's the 2.5 years, and then there's the moderator badge that she has.
But it's got to they should let it go. Like everybody across the line.
You used to be able to pick.
No, just put them all.
No, like, because then you could mix and match every day based on your, outfit that day. Yes, Carthammer.
A hype train is closed.
Is close?
That's what it said.
Oh yeah, Hype Train is close. Now I see it. So we've got 3 minutes to kick off this Hype Train and see what happens. Heather on Long Island, thank you very much for your 30 stream watch streak.
Thank you, Heather.
It's tough to say. On the list today, Carthammer, you want to talk
John
about
Mulaney has a great comedy bit about the Tom Jones song. We have to watch
Oh,
it.
really?
Thank you, Heather.
it? Is it as long as his very long-winded presentation at the Oscars?
So weird.
It was funny, but it was just way too long. All right. First off, on the list, Happy Pie Day, everybody.
3.14679.
Good a pizza
Three.
pie today?
679. What is this song?
What?
Those the boys? The Outside Boys? East Side Boys? Come on, Little John and the East Side Boys.
The
Listen,
boy.
my brain is broken. It's not funny.
It is very funny. AMS06 H, thank you very much for the 100 bits.
And Jen told us the real answer is 3.1415792.
No, it's not 7. 3.14159. 3.1415962.
So, Jen, you got that answer wrong on your test.
I believe that's the and then I added a couple numbers on the morning show podcast this morning. I don't remember what those numbers were. That's about as far as my brain is going to work ever. Let's see. I used to play that song on Touch Tunes repeatedly at the next door to my favorite bar. That's amazing. And that song we're talking about is Pussycat by Tom Jones. On the list. So, Happy Pi Day. We got through that. Podcast peril. Carla Marie is telling us that our podcast, we're dead, basically.
Bad news bears.
But you're saying it with a smile, so hopefully it's not that
No,
bad.
it's bad.
Kids are insane,
Yep.
moving to Europe, and of course, Seattle Gummy Company. We've got the double discount, double check, or something. The discount double check. What was that?
I think it's a car commercial, it sounds like.
Discount
Sounds
double
like-
check. I think it's a car insurance.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Flo, but I don't think it was Flo.
Discount double check.
I wonder who
So
it is.
easy a gecko could do it
Maybe.
with Flo. And Jake from State Farm. So explain the Seattle Gummy Company discount double check.
So, probably illegal to steal another company's tagline, but all this week, Seattle Gummy Company has 30% off if you buy 2 or more boxes. You can't just go buy individual packs. 2 or more boxes, you get 30% off with code DAYLIGHT, because of daylight savings time. And then on top of that, after you put that code in, you put in our code CMA, and you get 20% off on top of that code.
Yeah.
So this is your time to stock up for the next few months. We both started our day with the caffeine gummies. Yeah. I know you love the recover gummies for post-workout. You love the sleep gummies.
So surprisingly, even though their most popular product is the energy gummy, it's the one I use the least. But I still, this morning I had one because I was dragging.
Yeah.
I was in the studio till almost midnight last night, just tinkering with some wires. But I use the recovery gummy during my workout. There's the green pack that I use. The Power Up gummy during my workout. That's the red one. After my workout, I usually have 2 of the green recovery gummies.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Sleep.
I use a sleep gummy. I prefer the ones without melatonin because I feel like melatonin it keeps me, I drag a little too much the next morning.
I have weird dreams.
But I think that's what everyone has with melatonin.
Yeah.
Is it gives you wild dreams.
I will not.
What like Taylor Swift? The wildest dreams. Wildest dreams.
We should just do a show about music because that's all we talk about these days.
And then the other one that I actually really like, especially if you're feeling hungover or maybe you didn't get enough water that day or the day before, the hydration gummies are also really, really good. So basically you take a gummy, you drink water, instead of traveling around with the little packets that you have to put into a water bottle, you have the gummy, you drink your water, and you're good to go. So do all of that. Diana, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. We appreciate that. We are at level 3 of the hype train today.
Discount double check apparently was an Aaron Rodgers commercial.
Oh, yeah.
And I have to say, so Falsetta 99, their first chat ever was just saying Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But that's all I saw, and I was like, oh, we got a new person. We're going to have to just ban because they're just going to come in here and say Aaron Rodgers, and I didn't realize why. So, hello.
The Aaron Rodgers thing is so funny this week because earlier, and I talked about it on the Morning Show podcast, it was announced that Aaron Rodgers and Jesse the Body Ventura, the former wrestler and former governor, are both on Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s short list of vice presidential candidates. And I knew it was going to happen because whether you like Aaron Rodgers or not is kind of besides the point right now. Anytime an outsider tries to get into the world of politics, the stories come out almost immediately, right?
What did we find out?
Well, apparently...
What skeletons?
So, allegedly, and this is according to 2 people who I guess worked at CNN in conversations that are not documented anywhere. So who knows if they're right or wrong or lying or whatever. Apparently, he's not sure if the Sandy Hook shooting happened, and he's also not sure if 9/11 was an inside job or whatever. So I think they're trying to make him look like more of a conspiracy theorist type person, which I don't doubt necessarily. Right. But it was on Tuesday, I think it was announced that he could possibly be the vice presidential pick for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And then literally Wednesday was when these stories started coming out.
I want to announce that I'm running just to see what comes out.
The dirt?
Yeah. So apparently also RFK, according to CNN, RFK was looking at Aaron Rodgers, Jesse Ventura, Tulsi Gabbard, Senator Paul Rand, Trisha Lindsay, Tony Robbins, Andrew Yang, and
Tony Robbins, like the motivational speaker guy?
And Mike Rowe. Dirty
From
Jobs.
Dirty Jobs?
So Mike Rowe posts to his Instagram a photo of CNN, like a picture of watching on CNN. He goes, boarding a flight at DFW. Just saw this on a monitor. Airports are funny places. And I think that was his way of being like, what the? No, I'm not. And it's, unless that was his way of announcing, yes, I am. But I don't think so.
He seems like a pretty relatable guy. I don't really know anything about
also,
Mike Rowe other than his Dirty Jobs thing.
They put as like his job, TV host. I mean, that guy has done every job in America. And you're going to put
as a TV host, though. What was his original job before?
I don't know, but I love
the
him.
dirty one.
Though I did hear, yeah, apparently he's got, I was just going to say, Megan said this. I liked him until recently. I listened to his podcast and it's gotten crazy. I just feel
I know nothing about it.
I just have heard rumblings that he has dabbled into the maybe the conspiracy theory water.
I know nothing about him. What are you looking up?
I'm looking to see if but I can't.
See if you can find what?
Anything about him.
Oh, like
president or
dirt on Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs. Who else was it? Tony Robbins and
Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay, at least she was a politician. That makes
Andrew
sense.
Yang, but that doesn't make sense to me.
I think he's just looking for anyone who had momentum outside of the two main parties.
Well, Mike Rowe did not.
No, but he's also looking for some celebrity and some attention. Here's the crazy part, though. With Aaron Rodgers, he's still supposed to be, he's not retired. He's still supposed to be the quarterback for the New York Jets next year. So I'm not sure if you can really do both of those jobs.
Have you seen the memes of, like, that's why he ran out of the tunnel with the American
with
flag?
the American flag.
Because he was announcing his vice presidency.
For his 4.5 plays or whatever he had. I do feel bad for him for that, because that sucks. Especially someone who had the same exact injury, 4 months before Aaron Rodgers. I didn't get the cool surgery, though.
What I did say is that, so Aaron Rodgers is a regular on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Every week. If he does run for vice president and continues to go on the Pat McAfee show, I think even if he's not talking about running, Pat McAfee legally has to offer and allow every other candidate to come on his show.
Possibly. I know there are rules about that.
Yes, because
when we had Hillary Clinton on our show on Power 93.3,
we also put in a request for Trump at the time. He said no.
We reached out at the time. It was Bernie Sanders, Hillary, and Trump were the three nominees that were still in the race. Hillary gave us time, or she actually reached out, her team, not her. Yeah. Because the primaries in Seattle were coming up, and Washington was one of the states where Bernie Sanders actually was doing much better than Hillary Clinton was. So she needed a little bit of attention, which is fine. That's what they do. So she reached out. Then we had to, because we had her on, had to reach out to Bernie's team and to Trump's team. Bernie said, his team originally said he might have time for us on a Saturday. But
so did Trump, though.
No, the interesting thing was Bernie, I think he even left before, he left right after he did his little speech here in Washington, because he was doing so well that it was like, all right, we're going to get out of here, go work on a different state. So he canceled on us, or his team, I should say. I keep saying they, but they don't. His team canceled on us. With Trump, Washington wasn't a state he was going to spend a lot of time in to begin with.
But we were going to do a phone call.
We were working on a phone call with Trump, just like we had with Clinton. But they were going to give us one of the two girls from Two Broke Girls originally.
That's right.
To speak on his behalf. I don't know which one
Max,
was.
The one that Max's name. I don't know her name.
Okay.
I'm forgetting her name in real life.
So I guess she helped his campaign for a little bit.
Yes, and we were like, no, what do we want to talk to her about?
Then we said no. Well, the candidate actually spoke to us for Hillary's team. So if it's not the candidate themselves, we don't want it. Then they offered either Ivanka or Don Jr. as other options. We said no to both of those.
We were like, get our friend Erica on the phone.
Then they just said, never mind. Okay. And I get it. They don't need to make time for us.
No.
Whatever. But that was our interaction with all three of those teams. And really, it was our producer, Brent, at the time, who was crazy going through all of that.
I remember the whole Hillary thing was wild. Wherever you stand, she's still the most famous person. Name like recognition wise, right? That we've ever spoken to. Well, I guess I've spoken to Taylor Swift. Do more people know her?
Selena Gomez, most followed woman on Instagram.
I guess, yep. Talking globally, I guess more people know them.
Yeah.
But in terms of prestige, I don't know, whatever. It was wild because it was like someone you grew up knowing.
Yeah.
Right? For better or for worse. And I remember doing the interview when she mentioned each of us by name at one point. She was like, well, Carla Marie, your student loans. And I remember we hung up when we said, the fact that this woman got handed a folder with our names on it today.
Pretty crazy.
Was wild. And then Elvis even texted us. He was like, hey, I listened to your interview. Like, you guys are doing some really cool things. Like, you guys did such a good job. And
then we never did anything cool again.
Then that was in our first 8 months of having a morning show.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
It was wild. No, less than that because primaries would have been now.
Yeah.
Our first 2 months of having a morning show.
Something like that. Yeah, it was
and
very...
our first 2 months of a morning show, we interviewed that.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It was such a wild time.
A former first lady, a former senator, a former... What else? She also had... what was her job in Obama's White House? Secretary of State. That's what it was. But yeah. I wonder if any of them would make time for us. I also don't think Biden or Trump this year. I think RFK Jr. will be on any podcast you want him to be on.
Like, Trump and Biden don't need to do a single interview.
That's the crazy. I don't even think they're going to debate. There is no reason at this point. We know exactly what we're getting. They've both been president for a term, right?
What if, I don't wish death on literally anyone.
Yeah.
What if either one of them die? So, then are we voting for Kamala Harris?
It depends on...
when
that happens. If it happens before the conventions, they can revert back to kind of how conventions used to work before this whole structure was built out. And you would essentially go to a Democratic or a Republican national convention as a delegate, and you'd state your case for your favorite nominee, and then you'd vote at that convention.
Like we would?
No. The people who are officially delegates.
Oh.
I don't know how you get put into that.
So our votes
part of the
wouldn't
political
matter.
machine. I don't know how they do it today, honestly.
What if Biden wins in November and then dies in December, but he hasn't been sworn in?
Then it would go to Kamala.
Did I say her name wrong before?
I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying her name right.
Because, no offense to either of these guys, but
They're
one of them is a day away and the other one's a McDonald's cheeseburger away.
They're both pretty old.
So.
Oh, I did say it right. Thank you, Scotty.
I said it, and then I was like, something.
It's Kamala, not Kamala, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sonali.
I normally say it right. I don't know.
It's okay. It's all right. Are you
I'm just
thinking back
I'm
to
trying
it?
to think of how it came out of my mouth.
Listen, people know who you're talking about either way.
Ooh, okay. Your brother Justin said if Biden dies before the Democratic convention, the Dems can choose a new candidate.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
If he dies after it, Harris takes the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We're on borrowed time here.
But she could also, and I don't know if she would, I don't think anyone in that position gives up their power, but she could also then say, well, I don't want to run anymore. And they would revert back.
Well, let me tell you something. Whoever the vice president is on either side, looking like our president at some point in the next 5 years. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons. It's funny because RFK Jr. was asked about that. Because even though he too is older, he's still younger than both of those candidates. And they asked him about, Trump and Biden's age. And he was like, well, I just know that, they're not, who knows if they'll make it past their term, blah, blah, blah. And the entire internet was like, dude, you're a Kennedy. Maybe let's not assume you're also going to make it through your term. And that's not even just the family members that got elected.
I know.
That's his whole family.
I know. Stop it.
They're just not very good, like I said on the podcast the other day, at surviving.
Okay.
They're just not too good at
Do
it.
you remember when Taylor Swift dated a Kennedy?
No, which one? Is he still alive?
Yeah, the younger one. I forget his name.
Joe Jr. Jr.? What? Oh, we got an ad coming up in a little bit.
Anthony Kennedy?
Is there an Anthony Kennedy?
No.
Oh, okay. Connor, we're just... Are you looking
Connor
it up?
Kennedy?
You're looking it up?
Yeah, I just was letting it get my face. Taylor Swift.
Let's see.
Connor Kennedy. Yes.
Connor Kennedy. So where's his family line? Does it go up to...
Didn't she date Arnold Schwarzenegger's son? Oh, Connor Kennedy is RFK Jr.'s son.
Oh, no way.
She could have been. Oh my God, she would have been president.
The first daughter-in-law is what she could have been. Are you considered a first son or a first daughter?
First, yes.
Okay.
The first kids. Yes.
So she would have been the first daughter-in-law to RFK Jr. if that thing worked out.
You know what? I'd rather her be the first lady of the Chiefs.
Of Chiefs Kingdom.
Chiefs Kingdom.
It does make sense. Would you rather be a president or in a kingdom? In the royal court of a kingdom?
True.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We haven't gotten into anything really on the list yet, so we are going to take our little ad break here.
Stop. Don't call it that.
Why? It's a little break. It's not a big ad break.
It's not a big ad break.
And before we do that, I've got to go to this words page.
Oh, I'm going to take a pee break.
So if you haven't been here before, while we've had an ad break, and you are subscribed to the channel, you most likely won't see ads. You will be able to play this word game that we have.
And I think in order to be able to enter your words for the game, you have to do !play.
Okay.
In the chat.
So let me just make sure that's ready to go, because I don't want to go into that without the proper. Okay, there we go.
So we were talking about how annoying it is.
I can't believe you just said that thing when the mics were off.
I said the word that Anthony didn't want to say earlier. No. How annoying it is that game won't give you the answers.
Yeah.
That you miss.
What are you going to do? The reason the mics are off when we come back is I have an automatic feature built in when we go into commercials that mutes our mic. I need to figure out how to switch that so when we come back out of commercials, it turns it back on. A lot of tinkering I got to do. And that's what I was in here last night doing. But last night was like boring tinkering, like nothing cool on the screen necessarily, but just like cleaning up wires and things like that. And I'm very tempted, very, very tempted to come in this weekend and like change everything around. Like move the whole desk, move where the computer is, move where the lights are, put a camera on the ceiling. All of it.
Okay.
You want to do that?
No. It's going to be 65 and sunny.
That's true. I guess I can wait till like a crappier weekend. But on the list, Carla Marie, we've got podcast apparel. So let's get into that one.
I have sad news for you.
Okay. What is that?
Our hard worked for 5-star rating is gone.
No way.
So we had 5 stars. 5 stars.
Okay.
Across Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts for the longest time. On Apple, at least, we are now, the Morning Show podcast is a 4.9. Would you like to know?
I wonder what we said.
Would you like to know what it is? Because I found the rating.
You can do that. Okay. What did the person say?
Well, they gave us 3 stars.
Okay.
October 23rd, 2023.
Okay.
And said, the title is this podcast still on? And then in the review, it says, I not gotten any new podcast since 2 weeks ago, I think. So that was after our vacation. So listen, I'm not being mean to you, but Matt, you left us a 3-star review on our podcast because you didn't see a new podcast. You could have said, hey, are you guys alive?
That's an interesting...
Through any other way to contact us. And it took our rating down, and I wish it was something we actually did.
Yeah, that's kind of lame. I wish they hated something instead of just not understanding. Because even at the last podcast before we went on vacation, we said we're going to be off for 2 weeks.
I know. And you can't respond to comments.
But can you, what's the word I'm looking for? Can you like argue your case with Apple and say, hey, this review is just false?
Like, I don't know what happens now, because if we have that one rating and every other rating, like 1 million more 5-star ratings.
You stay at 4.9.
I'm gonna gag. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, you stay. Well, you can't. You can't have a 5-star rating if there's anything other than a 5-star.
Are you kidding me, this guy?
It's not a big deal.
I wonder, I don't think you can delete it.
Let me read it.
I was just gonna Google.
Let me see this. Let me see this guy's name.
No, you can put in a new name every time. That's also what's annoying. And he's got an emoji of a turkey bone or something.
Yeah, what kind of bone? It looks like maybe a ham.
If you are Matt Say, can you please go delete this?
I not gotten any new podcasts since 2 weeks ago, I think. And that was on October 23rd.
When we were on vacation.
Okay. Oh, I also see a message from a 5-star rating from Tom Kelly, who said you guys need Tom Kelly as a guest.
I'm ignoring that.
I love Tom Kelly. What are you going to do?
No.
You know what? I actually am happy that we're not at a 4.
Because we worked so hard for this thing, a link to come in here and text us on there.
Listen, not a great reason for a 3-star review, but I like that the pressure's kind of off now. You know? Now the next 5 or less than 5-star review won't bother me as much. And we don't have to worry about being perfect on Apple anymore.
All right, so you can read your rating reviews in Apple Podcast Connect. Okay, I know how to do that.
What are we figuring out here?
If I can say, sir, can you remove this?
Oh, and you can actually reach out to people?
I don't know, because it's not fair that restaurateurs can comment back to people on Google Maps, Google.
Yeah, but don't you have to pay Yelp to be able to do that?
That's Yelp.
And on Google, you can just reach out. You don't have to pay Google to like...
I can comment to people on Google, I think.
No, I don't know how to... I don't rate anything. The only time I've ever gone on Google to rate anything was for my barber, actually.
But you can't tell people to rate and review your own podcast if you don't rate the ones you listen to.
No, on podcasts I do. On podcasts, everyone I know that has a podcast has a 5-star rating from me.
There you go. Your hairstylist commented.
Yeah, and well, my hairstylist, my barber. But that is the only time I think I've ever left a Google review.
What? I'm what does it call me? A local.
What is it called?
Google says that I'm a local something. I love rating and reviewing, but I never leave a bad review. If it's bad, I won't say anything. So,
it depends. Because I think sometimes people leave bad reviews because something, this is going to sound obviously very dumb, isn't to their liking. Like they can try a food and not appreciate it, but that doesn't mean other people won't appreciate that food.
Well, if I won't talk to a manager about it first, I won't leave a review. And that I have also learned from like our friend James, who owns Watson's Counter. He'll like, people will leave a review and he'll comment and be like, why didn't you just talk to me? Like, why? I could have fixed this for you. Why are you going to the internet to say something bad about my business when I could have handled it?
I wonder if that's another difference between a place like New Jersey and a place like Washington State, where in New Jersey, like someone like your dad, Carla Marie, will call a manager over.
Yes.
Immediately. Where in Washington, I feel like people do that less.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
It's a slightly more passive state.
Apple calls me a local guide.
Okay.
Because I rate and review. Google calls me a local guide. I rate and review. I answer questions that it'll randomly ask me. Like, hey, you went to this restaurant. Can you answer these questions for us? Sure.
What does it ask you?
Is it accessible? Is it kid-friendly? Alcohol, food, whatever. It's random.
Accessible in what way?
For handicap accessible, sorry.
But why would they ask you?
Because if the restaurant doesn't say if there's a handicap entrance, then they need to know from other people.
But I feel like there are things, if there was a handicap, right?
Well, then I don't answer the question.
But I think there are things that you wouldn't notice aren't accessible because you are an able-bodied person. Or like you would view the restaurant differently than someone.
I'll say I don't know.
Someone that's blind or in a wheelchair, right?
Correct.
So why are you?
Because maybe it knows that I might know. I don't answer the ones I don't know the answers to, and I leave photos. I'm getting up there. I don't know what. I love Google Maps.
Yeah, like I said, I've only used it for.
I'm 4 points away from becoming a level 5 local guide. I'm currently a level 4.
What do you get?
I'll get a badge.
Do you remember when oh my God, what was it called? Foursquare.
They talked about it recently on Serial Killers because Scotty B was talking about how he was the mayor of so many locations.
Foursquare? I don't think they developed the app fast enough to catch up with how many people were using it and what they could have done, right? Because Foursquare would have been such a better version of Yelp, for example.
Yeah.
Or Google Maps or any of the reviewing places. But I don't think they created that functionality early enough so people were just checking in for like discounts, which is great.
Yeah, Scotty B was the mayor at some diner on Long Island.
I was the mayor. There was a pizza place by the old iHeartRadio building in New York, the one that was downtown, and I was the mayor there for like a day.
Do you remember Scary was the mayor of Z100?
Yes. Yeah. I loved that. There was actually I actually talked to someone at Foursquare. I called them when I was Elvis's assistant, and I was pitching them as the idea of expanding the app to media so that you could check into the Elvis show.
Oh, like
every day
if you're listening.
Yeah. And we talked about it for a little bit, a couple emails back and forth, and then it kind of just fizzled out. I don't think they couldn't figure out how to like actually verify that it was a thing.
Yeah, Tones, you would be the mayor of LA Fitness in Ballard.
You know?
You should leave a review for the gym. They help. Yes, you'd be the mayor. Sorry, finish your thought.
I don't think I would be the mayor. I think my friend Jen is there multiple times a day. Philip might beat me. Stefan might beat me. Julian. There's a lot of people there that are there either as often or more often than me.
Okay. Well, there was something I was going to say, and then I let you talk, and I forgot it. This is why I don't let people talk.
You said something about me reviewing LA Fitness.
But here's why I do the reviews, because reviews help me so much. Mm-hmm. And you should leave reviews, because when I'm traveling, if there's like a LA Fitness that I want to go to, I'm like, oh, let me see what, I know I can go on their app to see what amenities they have, but I'd rather see what like members are saying or what people are saying about it. It's also fun to read because people are just wild in their reviews.
I don't think I'm a negative reviewer.
That's
like
fine.
you, I don't think I would leave negative reviews unless I thought there was something dangerous.
Right.
Right. Like don't eat here because they cook their food in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that.
Well, Fred the Mailman's a level 7 local guide, so I need to step it up, sister.
I would love to see.
I'm gonna leave a review of Fred Meyer.
You know what I think Fred the Mailman should do?
What?
I think, Fred, you should work with other mail carriers and an app developer. And you should create not a neighborhood watch, but a neighborhood review.
That's like next
but
door.
It's only rated by mail carriers.
Okay. I like that.
Like the friendliest streets or the streets to stay away from and things like that.
But do we get to see it, or is it only within the mail carrier
I think
community?
you can view it. Anyone can view it and sign up as a user. But the only people that can contribute to the data would be mail carriers.
Okay. I only have 183 contributions.
Ooh, rate a route. I like that,
Rate
Lenny.
a route.
Lenny, I think we're onto something here.
Oh, I did leave a bad review. I take that back.
Ooh, what happened?
I did.
What happened?
Because there was no other way to contact the business. That massage that I got in Groupon that gave me the bruises that I had for 3 months on my body, I left a review.
But you didn't reach out to them?
There was no way to contact her otherwise.
Huh.
Her website had no contact information.
Well,
I found her through Groupon.
Yeah,
so.
that's their fault then.
Yeah.
That is their fault. Oh, Lisa said that on their baking page, you can now leave reviews.
What?
Okay, if you send me the link again, because I did have a very positive experience with Jen and Lisa and their cookies.
Can we put the Carla and Anthony show on Google now that we have a location?
Probably. But I wonder if you'd have to be here or close enough. No, probably not.
No, I can leave reviews anywhere.
But
That's the whole problem, is that people, if they don't, someone will post on Instagram, this business did this, go leave a bad review. And then people from other countries are leaving reviews.
Well, that was happening a lot during COVID, because even if it wasn't up to the business owner, if they were closed or if they had to require masks or something, people who were against those safety measures, we'll call them, would go on and find this place is requiring their patrons to wear masks. Let's all just bomb them with 5-star reviews, or 1-star reviews. And you'd end up with thousands, which then you look at it, and I think this is where Google and Yelp need to go, okay, well, that's impossible. 7,000 people didn't go there yesterday to this cafe in Seattle. It doesn't make any sense. And then you just say, we're going to wipe 24 hours worth of information.
The Seattle Cocktail Club said, in this post-Panini world, we should be reviewing every place we enjoy, even remotely, with 5 stars and no words.
So 5 stars, no words. I could do that, I guess. Boom. I got to create a new Google account, though.
Why?
I don't know. I don't want it attached to my personal account.
They don't use your last name.
Still. I'm starting to segment.
I'm not. I'm actually opposite now. I'm starting to blend it all. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make it as hard as it can possibly be for people to take all of my data.
No, they have it already.
That's true.
And I'm stopping the confusion.
Let's see. There was something in here from Marijuana.
He said that he needs there to be a client review page so he can know if a new client is a dork or not.
Yeah. There should be some way, especially for services like that, right? Massage, barber, I don't know, eyebrow stringer. What do you call them? What are they? Threader. Yeah. Where anyone can leave a review, but maybe your review gets ranked higher if you're verified that you are a customer.
Yeah, there has to be some way to do that.
Because, what if someone just saw Miles on the street one day and said, I don't like that guy, I'm going to go review his business poorly.
I know.
But then I also want to review it. Our reviews should not be the same. They shouldn't have the same value.
I'm going to go on LinkedIn and leave 4 reviews for my exes as people.
I guarantee you that's happened, though.
100%.
Not even on LinkedIn. I bet you if there's a guy who owns a restaurant.
Of course that's happened.
Maybe he cheats on his girlfriend. Now, that has nothing to do with the restaurant itself. But then that girl and all her friends can say, you know what, to get him back, let's all go let's all give him 1 stars. And say that he pees in his soup or something.
Well, that's insane.
I don't know. You can say whatever you want on these sites. All right, so we got through podcast peril, which I guess is not that bad, Carla Marie.
Jess said that in Germany, businesses can now demand proof of you having been there. Otherwise, the review gets deleted. Also,
perfect.
Which I don't know how I didn't bring this up because I recently posted about it. My brother's restaurant, Sinner's Steakhouse, they have random bad reviews. And he's like, they came through when we were like closed. Like there's no one that could have been here. And they're convinced the way that they, just the pattern of them, they think that it's people that work for the only other steakhouse on the island, or I guess it's on a peninsula, Point Pleasant, New Jersey. They think it's the other steakhouse. He's convinced. So that's why I recently was like, anyone that's been there, please leave a 5-star review.
Well, I mean, some people can just do it when they're home, right? They had a late meal there, then they went home. No. The restaurant's now closed. I'm not saying it's impossible. Of course. I'm sure there's some gamesmanship between restaurants and businesses on Yelp and on Google. But who was it that brought up Germany? Was it Jess from Minnesota? So,
moving to Europe.
Moving to Europe. We're going to skip down one. We'll get back to kids are insane.
Yes.
I feel like more and more people, through social media especially, have been saying, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time for us to just pack up, leave America, and go to Europe. Yep. And you might go like, yeah, but what about freedom? That's fine.
They have freedom there too.
They do. But there are things like I talked about today in the morning show podcast where there are food manufacturers who make different products for Europe to abide by their regulations that are higher standards than we allow here in America, but they continue to make the crappier standard versions for us with the dyes that are banned in Europe or products or whatever, additives that are banned in Europe. And then you start going down the list and you're like, well, maybe it's time. Maybe I just pick everything up and head over.
I said this to you the other day that one of the reasons I've been like, I couldn't move is because the fact that you'd have to quarantine the cats for like 2 weeks. But
where do they quarantine? You good? What's happening?
My bracelet just broke.
Oh. Which one?
A little worth project.
What is that? Isn't that like some magical thing that happens?
No, but it says love is love, so.
Guess it's not.
I was like, what is falling all over my body?
Okay, so quarantining cats.
Yeah, so the thought of having to lock our cats up into some facility for 2 weeks in a foreign country gives me.
Who watches them and feeds them and stuff?
So I kept like reading this a while ago when I was looking into moving to Finland because I was set on this. And I saw these people that were posting on Instagram about moving with their cats to Europe for a few months. And I commented, do you have to quarantine? And they commented, no, you just have to travel with paperwork and no one even asked us for it.
Oh,
and I was
cool.
like, okay, this opens the gates again.
Well, I feel like cats, and granted, any animal or any person can take diseases from country to country. So I understand that part. But cats are everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's not like if I bring my cat to Spain, they also have domesticated cats there. It's not like I'm necessarily upsetting the ecosystem by bringing in a cat.
But other than my family, but then again, I feel like I'd be closer to them or just as far.
Yeah.
And the flights are actually cheaper to go from New York to places in Europe than they are to Seattle.
Yep.
I think I could easily do it.
I don't know if I'd go to Finland, mainly because if I'm going to leave Seattle, I'm not going to a place with Seattle weather.
That's fair. What about Norway? Freezing.
Same thing. You know they're right next to each other.
I know, but I really want to go there. Like, cause
you could go.
Those have, like, yeah, I'd live in Italy, but let's be honest, they don't have the best quality of life sometimes.
I think I'd go to Spain. I'd go to, like, the south of Spain.
You can sleep in the middle of the day.
You could take a little siesta. But I think I'd go to Spain. I'd go to the south of Spain where it's warmer.
Yeah, I would like to go
be on the Mediterranean.
But I would love to live in, like, Positano, like One Italian Summer, the book, when she goes to, like, the Amalfi Coast. Oh, my God, I could live there.
But she only went for a summer.
Yeah, but I could live there.
You could. What was the country you just said was giving out like $100,000?
I think it was Scotland, but you have to be a general practitioner. They were looking for doctors.
I could pretend. I could just make up a school in America. Tell them I'm a doctor.
South Harmon Institute of Technology.
Yeah. What are they going to check? They're not going to check. I think I can make it work.
Hold on.
What?
Warm European countries.
Wasn't Greece paying people for a while?
Yeah. Do we want to live there? Like full time?
Sure, why not?
Oh, French Riviera. Oh, no, that's winter. It's warm.
I don't know if I'd go to France.
We can go to
I've just heard things about the French that I
Portugal, the Azores. Oh. Is it Costa Rica that has the most expats than any country in the world?
Costa Rica has from America.
Yeah, that's what I said. Expats.
I guess you could be an expat from any country, can't you?
Can you be an expatriate from other countries than America? I don't know. We're the only patriots.
There was a TikTok I saw recently that was like, it's funny that we call people who leave America expats when they're also just migrants leaving for a better life in a different country. Let's see.
Brief from Arizona said, my dad is from Azores. I'll be visiting this summer. I'm positive I won't want to come back here.
Where is that?
Portugal.
Oh, it's a place.
It's island off of Portugal, I believe.
Gotcha. Yeah. The Show Love podcast responded in YouTube on the YouTube chat and said, I love Scotland. Stayed there for a while in the
It's either for a while in the Highlands or far away in the Highlands.
I don't know where that typo. Oh yeah, a while. They corrected themselves. In the Highlands. I'd love to go to Scotland, Ireland, and just enjoy like the greenery out there and away from the cities specifically.
Oh, my ex-boyfriend from high school has a plot of land in Ireland.
That's cool.
Because I bought it for him on one of those websites as a gift. Square foot. I'm going to go pee on it.
1 square foot. I mean, it's better than owning no land, I guess.
That's true.
Now, here's my question, okay? So you buy this ex-boyfriend as a plot of land, as 1 square foot. How much was it?
You asking me to remember how much something was
approximately
20 years ago? Under $50.
Under $50. Okay. If you got enough people together who were gifted that square plot of land and said, we would like to combine our certificates, could you actually take over that property?
I don't know.
And then own it?
It could be property that you can't do anything on. They're like whatever it's permitted as.
Because like if someone bought me a star, for example.
Yeah, what are you going to do, go sit on it?
No, but I wonder if next time Elon shoots a satellite up there and blocks my view of my star, if I could sue him.
Could you imagine and you sued him for like $1 million and that was your ticket?
If there's anywhere to sue someone in the world, it is America. We can sue people for anything.
I got to get out of here. Which, I'm like not kidding. I know that we fantasize and joke about doing things. I will move to Europe.
Okay. Like I said, I just don't want to go to a place that gives me Seattle weather.
Okay.
So, like, as much as I do like the Nordic countries and think they're really cool, I don't think I could live full time in, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Finland.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. But they have saunas.
We have them here too.
Speaking of,
we're gonna be on TV today.
Yes,
half naked
on TV. We went with our friends at King 5. Kim Holcomb, who's the host of King 5.
Why'd you do King 5?
I don't know. And last Thursday, we got to try out one of the first floating saunas in America. Sauna is how it's actually pronounced. In America, it's actually in Kirkland, Washington here. And you go in the sauna, it's 190 degrees.
And it's on a little barge and it floats.
It's so pretty. And then you jump in the lake to do the hot, cold thing. And I talked a big game, which you'll watch on TV. I'm like, I'm going to stay in there as long as David, the owner, recommends. Like, he's traveled to Europe. He's done this there. He says it's like 3 minutes. And I'm like, I will be in there for 3 minutes with him breathing. I think that was the closest I've ever been to death.
You were not that close.
But I will do it again in a heartbeat. I don't want to scare people.
I think you lasted in the water longer than I did, though.
I did.
I was out immediately.
Because one of us likes cold better. Or can deal with things.
I don't like it. I don't like cold. I'm not a strong swimmer. But it was a great experience. And if you want to catch it, it is on King 5 evening tonight. The whole piece.
We posted a little bit of it on Instagram this morning.
Also, on the list, I don't know if we're going to get into it today, Carla Marie.
What?
Kids are insane.
It's actually super cute and quick.
Okay, go for it.
So my great-nephew Michael is in preschool. He's 3 years old, so it's like not kindergarten. Like, it's before that. And the things that they like learn and work on in school crack me up. So yesterday they had all we got was the photo of their lucky wish. So what happens at this school is different things that happen during the day will get posted to like the parent portal, and my niece will get to see it. This doesn't have any photos of any kids. It has each kid's name and their lucky wish.
Okay.
I don't know anything else. All I know is that they were told, what's your lucky wish?
So they're getting updates during the day?
Yeah, constantly. It's pretty wild. So I'm not going to read all the kids' names because I don't want to do that. But for example, Michael's lucky wish, my nephew, I can say his name, it just says Iron Man.
Like he wants to be Iron Man?
We don't know. Okay. So these are some of the other lucky wishes. Dog, butterfly. There's a lot of dogs, so I'm going to skip those. Butterfly, hot dog.
Same.
Motorcycle, police car, Barbie dream house, a rainbow unicorn, a fire truck, another Barbie dream house, Spider-Man, a house. The teacher wants a house. That's actually sad. Miss Maria wants a dog, and Miss Pam wants Powerball numbers. But then there's this kid that writes brown car.
Yeah, why not?
I just want to know what they mean.
They don't know what they mean, I think.
I want to tap into these little pea brains. I actually need an update from Michael on what he means by Iron Man.
Vicky said, I missed the daily updates and pictures. Kindergarten is a whole new world.
Yeah.
So who's, I guess there's a teacher's aide that's like uploading everything during the day, or is it during nap time?
Keep in mind, this is a school that my niece pays for, right? Because it's not a public school yet.
But it's also a pre-K, right?
It is, but then I think he could continue to go through that school system because then it would be like a private school. But yeah, there's like pre-K, and I think he's in pre-K now. And I think next September he will start regular school, which is crazy to me. Regular pre-K, but because of when he was born, he could have gone this year, but he missed the cutoff. So he's in like that weird age group, but yeah, he gets all the.
Is it a Montessori school?
It is not.
What does that mean?
It's a type of.
Because I think one of my brothers went to a Montessori school for like pre-K or something.
Probably Justin. Makes sense. He's the lawyer.
I don't know.
I know it's a type of teaching, type of schooling.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was, as far as I know, after pre-K, I was just a public school kid.
Yeah,
that's it.
Vicky said my daughter's daycare and preschool has iPads, and they would update through an app. Yeah, so teachers aren't taking photos of your kids on their phones.
Well, yeah, that would be weird. It is time for us to get out of here. We are moving to Europe, apparently. I don't know when that's going to happen, but
what time of day are we going to do this show?
We gotta find another, like a country that will pay us to move there, because Greece was doing it for a little bit. I feel like Italy was doing it.
But the problem is they don't want us to move there and then go sit at home and work. They want us to be a part of society.
Yeah, we would do that. We'd find like a local pub or something, and we'd do our podcast from there.
Okay.
With the beautiful, like we could do it in Santorini. Is that where all the white buildings in Greece are, white and blue? I'd say we could do it in Lebanon, but A, that's not Europe, and B, they don't have all the cool things that the European countries do.
Like healthcare.
Plus their neighbors bombing them right now.
Yeah, so that would be that would throw a wrench.
Not great.
No.
Not a great situation out there. It is time for us to get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging with us today. We will not be here tomorrow because we don't do our show on Fridays, but there is a new morning show podcast available for you today. There will be one tomorrow. Why are you looking at the screen like that?
Jess said there's a digital nomad visa for people like us.
That's cool. I know. I think it was, I don't know if it was Saudi Arabia or one of the Emirates. One of the Middle Eastern kings out there, or princes, is launching a program for content creators where they give you a salary.
I saw this.
To create content from there.
Yeah.
Not for them.
Just from there.
From there. I'm sure, though, there's some like underlying, hey, you got to make us sound really good and love oil.
I'll do it from an oil rig. Great views, I bet.
We can be bought for now. But once I make some money, you just wait. Look at the wrong camera. That's the right camera.
Once I sue Elon Musk for blocking my star.
All right. See you later.